It's been exactly as advertised. He was going to hit the ground running. He had 4 years of thinking about the possibility of getting back into this position. He made promises along the way. He was much more ready. He came roaring in. Sure, some of it is going to be off-putting because he is reactionary. He is explosive. He is unpredictable. Those were many of the reasons that people aligned with this president.
What you don't do is disappear somebody and then use deportation as a way to crack down on their speech rights. That is just a purely, I don't know how else to put it, but a purely authoritarian move whose intention is to chill any kind of pro-Palestinian advocacy that this administration opposes.
By preventing these situations from ever happening, we actually prevent the negative cascading consequences, and you reduce that incident, but you reduce further down line other retaliatory type crimes.
Welcome back to the Metro on 1019 WDET FM. I'm Tia Graham. Now, a whistleblower who did IT work for the National Labor Relations Board alleges a team from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, did more than search for fraud and waste when it visited the National Labor Relations Board last month. The whistleblower says DOGE appears to have uploaded a huge amount of data from National Labor Relations Board's computers, erased traces of what it did, and then left all of the system security features turned off. Then, someone with an internet address based in Russia repeatedly, but unsuccessfully, tried to get into the National Labor Relations Board computers. The whistleblower, Daniel Berulis, informed Congress about the apparent breach. NPR reported on it. Here is Berulis telling MSNBC the data involved is quite sensitive.
So things like proprietary company secrets, union organizer names, private affidavits of unfair labor practice complainants. These are things that traditionally would be kept in a judicial system behind lock and key, and not anything to do with efficiency for sure. So for all these controls to be off, in this small amount of time, it doesn't speak to it being accidental.
A spokesperson for the National Labor Relations Board says DOGE never requested access to their systems and that the agency's own internal investigation found no sign of a computer breach. But more than 50 U.S. House Democrats have sent a letter to the National Labor Relations Board Council demanding a full explanation. That includes Michigan Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. Dingell spoke with WDET's Quinn Kleinfelter, and she told him she's concerned about what DOGE could have done with the data.
DOGE is coming in and taking the personal information about employees and getting a lot of information that people don't realize can be weaponized in different ways. As it relates to the NLRB, we were told that the information that was taken includes personal information about union members, employees voting to join a union, and witness testimony in ongoing cases before the board. And that logs used to monitor outbound traffic from the system had been deleted. So what's disturbing is that this information could be weaponized for retaliation with individuals' employers, and just the sensitive information that is being collected about every individual and has nothing to do with federal payments.
The whistleblower in this situation said DOGE had left all the safeguards off after they left. And then right after that, somebody with a Russian internet address tried repeatedly to get into the site using passwords, but they were prevented because of a fail-safe that does not allow people from outside the U.S. to log into the database. Do you think it's possible that some of this data that DOGE has been examining could have be being sent to Russia?
I'm going to be very clear. I have said this about the data that is being accessed about everybody. This was a letter specifically from a whistleblower at NLRB who told us about the effort to access that from an outside source that appears to be someone from Russia. But this data is being collected and used to weaponize. We believe that China and Russia could both be getting access to some of this when safeguards are taken off, when there aren't rail guards. We don't even know how it's being used by people who are getting access to such information, like Social Security and HHS, when you talk about Medicare and what medical conditions people have, and the personal data, their employment history, just a lot of very private information that nobody should have access to and can be weaponized in many different ways.
And there's business information too, right? Proprietary information, especially with like NLRB, because the businesses are dealing with labor.
That is the case. And the other thing we don't know of, some people have expressed concern about, was any backdoor code created to extract files from the board's internal case management system. And we do know that threats were made to the whistleblower. So I'm worried about what the whistleblower has shared with us. It confirmed many concerns we have had at all the agencies DOGE has gone into and tried to access their information.
Have you had any response yet to the letter that you and other House Democrats sent?
We are working on getting those responses.
If the data has been transferred in some way to someone from NLRB or any of the other sites that are involved, then it would already have been done, apparently. Whatever damage that could have been caused would already have been caused. What would you like to see happen now, after the fact?
I'm talking to many IT experts. There's no saying the genie's out of the bottle, but what we're really worried about is it's just a reckless approach to the handling of sensitive personal information. At the NLRB, it's workers. At the Social Security Department, it's workers and people that have retired. At HHS, it's Medicare and people's health care conditions and children on Medicaid and people with disabilities. And I do think there's a generational divide, Quinn, between younger people who think all their information is out there, so who cares, and older people that really do understand that data can be weaponized in many different ways, including security, national security. When you look at healthcare information and what might be done with that, how people can use it against people for future employment, I'm very, very worried. Data is a privacy issue. The collection of vast amounts of data can be weaponized to hurt both our economic security and our national security.
Elon Musk has said that he'll be leaving DOGE soon to focus on his business, but the team he's working with will likely still be in place. So do you foresee much change in regards to DOGE and what it does with Musk gone?
I think much of the damage has already been done as data has been collected. I think you are beginning to see Republican members fight back as they're seeing the implications of cuts that have been done and how they are hurting their communities. Elon Musk has a very strong personality. I hope we will see some of my Republican colleagues fighting for programs that matter in my district and their district.
President Trump is scheduled to be in Macomb County today to celebrate the first 100 days of his second administration. If by some chance you ran into the president, what would you ask him or say to him?
I would say, Mr. President, I don't think that you want to see the domestic auto industry not succeed. You and I, since we've known each other, have fought for these jobs. So could you please help bring certainty for these companies to do their business, fight to save the jobs of auto workers here and bring them back home? And the turbulence and the chaos the industry is feeling right now isn't helping that happen.
Debbie Dingell is a Democrat representing Michigan's 6th congressional district. She spoke with WDET senior news editor Quinn Kleinfelter. And Quinn actually joins us in studio right now just for a few moments or so. Hello, Quinn.
Hello.
So, Quinn, has the White House had any reaction to the possibility that this data could have been sent to foreign adversary like Russia?
Not really, but the whistleblower alleges that a while back the Defense Department began avoiding using Musk's Starlink system, specifically because it had been compromised by Russia.
Well, Quinn Kleinfelder, as always, thank you so much for joining us on the Metro. Quinn Kleinfelder is a WDET senior news editor, and we will talk with you soon.
Looking forward to it.
Coming up, the 13th congressional race is heating up. Progressive State Representative Donovan McKinney announced that he's challenging Congress member Sri Tanadar yesterday. We'll hear from McKinney coming up next. This is the Metro. You all stay right there.